My name is Antoine Schmidt and I'm from Paris. I'm a visual artist. This work is actually a generative video, which means it's generated on the fly by a program. So it's digital and it's generative, and it's different each time we see it, actually. So the work that is exhibited here is called 7 billion pixels. And in this work, you have 7 billion pixels that cross the screen at the rate of 1 million pixels per second. And they cross the screen in 1 second. So this takes about 2 hours. So if you consider that 1 pixel is one human being, in about 2 hours you have the whole humanity passing on the screen. And each pixel has its own path, direction. So in a way, it's like having a grasp of the whole humanity as an addition of 7 billion individual persons. Well, actually, Edith Roussas is quite known in the media art world, especially for its exhibitions and its grant. The grant is a quite interesting grant for artists, as it implies money, of course, but a residency here for 1 month. So this artwork actually was produced here at Edith Roussas last year in 2012. So I spent 4 weeks here to make the artwork. For me, it's important to. I deal with human nature, and especially I'm interested in the notion of movement and of future movement that is coming, and the processes of movement coming, especially in human beings. So, of course, this addresses questions of free will and of programming in a general sense, as programming means writing the future. So when you consider this, it relates to humans, but also to societies, laws, of course, computers and technology, but also any kind of movement that is written, more or less written.
Communimarsch, seit 1999 fast zur Gänze unzensiert und völlig unmoderiert im Netz ins Endlose am Wachsen, ist ein partizipatives, visuelles Webprojekt. Seine zentrale Idee stellte sich uns damals als die Frage, was passiert, wenn Menschen nur bildlich aufeinander zu und eingehen können. Wenn jedes Bildteil nur ein immer noch kleinerer Bruchteil eines wachsenden Ganzen ist, entstehen darin visuell dialogische Narrationsfäden, und gibt es dann ein ganzes Bild, welches Bildzentren wie Bildbruchteilherde hat, von denen visuell nachvollziehbare Geschichten ausgehen, die als Ganzes kein Einzelner wollen konnte, aber alle Beteiligten gemacht haben? Was können wir daraus ersehen und was können wir lernen? Heute, 15 Jahre später, sehen wir in Communimarsch das erste Weltbild, mit dem wir in Kalk was anfangen können, weil es wächst, fließt, offen ist und in seiner Vielverschieden Ganzheit nichts ausschließt. Es scheint uns der Wahrheit unserer komplexen gemeinsamen Realität so viel näher zu kommen als alle monologischen oder ideologischen Weltbilder.
My most recent body of work, Peacekeeper, was titled after the most popular gun available in eBay and evolved out of 6 months intensive play of Call of Duty. I became fascinated by Call of Duty's meaningless violence, the characterization of soldiers, police implications for the strange culture of male violence and masculinity that is built around within it. Violence, abuse, and roleplay in-game and band groups, often directed at other gamers by prepubescent boys making online identities.
Wolfgang Zach aus Bremen. Mein Arbeitsgebiet in der bildenden Kunst sind kinetische Objekte und Zeichnungen. Seit 1983 beschäftige ich mich zusätzlich mit den Möglichkeiten, die die Datenbearbeitung in der bildenden Kunst bietet. Dafür habe ich zuerst Software entwickelt, die es mir ermöglicht hat, meine kinetischen Objekte und Entwürfe dafür dreidimensional mit dem Drucker zu zeichnen. Um die Ausdrucksmöglichkeiten in den Zeichnungen zu erweitern, beschloss ich 1987, eine Maschine zu bauen, die in der Lage war, Künstlermaterialien in Stiftform zu verwenden. Dafür brauchte ich ein Jahr, um Hardware und Software zu entwickeln. Jetzt war ich in der Lage, von meinen Objektideen Bleistiftzeichnungen und Radierungen zu machen. Seit Anfang 2000 habe ich mir dann die Möglichkeit entwickelt, mit meiner Maschine die Linie eines Bleistifts in der Helligkeit zu modulieren. Dadurch konnte ich fotografische Vorlagen mit dem Bleistift umsetzen. Das hatte auch Einfluss auf die Inhalte meiner künstlerischen Arbeit. Parallel zu meiner persönlichen Entwicklung hatte sich das Internet entwickelt. Als 2005 Google Earth online ging, entdeckte ich die Bilder der dort zugänglichen Landschaften als Quelle meiner Inspiration. Die Motive, die in dieser Ausstellung zu sehen sind, stammen von imaginären Reisen mit Google Earth.
For content that is covered by intellectual property rights, like photos and video.
I'm Eva Domenech and I'm from Barcelona, and I work in a digital art collective there called Chinos International CC, and we work with, actually in any kind of digital art, but especially with electronics and programming. This installation is called Funambulista, and after some years working in website development, I decided to start exploring how to expand the website to the physical world, using sensors. So I decided to use Google Earth because I think it's like the most common representation we have nowadays, of our planet in the common imaginary, in the common conscience. So the installation consists in this balance beam, and when you walk on the bar, you're traveling across Europe, and then if you touch the floor, you're falling in the coordinates you were standing, but in the minimum zoom. And the audio you have, it's an exploration I did about this concept of terms and conditions, both in a commercial way and in a political way, like in day-to-day life and also in the process of creation, art. In digital art, we use these tools that they have their own terms and conditions, their terms of service. So actually, you're signing a legal contract, to use these tools, and also we use it in our day-to-day communication because I'm talking about applications like Facebook or WhatsApp or Twitter. This is the commercial part, and then the political audio. It's also legal text, but they come from European Commission conditions or impositions to other countries, or to some countries in Europe, like some countries that were rescued because of the crisis, like Spain or Greece or Ireland. They have this memorandum of understanding between the European Commission and these countries, for example. Also, other conditions, like the conditions to be member of the European Community. Well, I knew the Edith Rose House because I think it's quite well known in the digital art world or the media art, no? Also, I applied for one grant here for last year.
Like photos and videos I view through
So
search
yeah, I
engines
knew
or
some
other
exhibitions
information.
you had before and a bit about the story of the place.
In dem Bild Code, welches in der Ausstellung zu sehen ist, bin ich von einer Waldlandschaft ausgegangen, die sich im Laufe der Entstehung des Bildes zunächst über ein perspektivisches Raster und später durch eine malerische Verpixelung abstrahiert hat, bis hin zu einer Art fiktiven Strichcode. Diese Entwicklung war nicht geplant, sondern ist alleine aus der Malerei heraus entstanden.
Pour moi, c'est nourriture, quoi. Si je dessine pas, si je dresse pas un bâtiment, je suis pas bien, quoi. Alors j'ai tellement de projets, tellement c'est des villes futuristes. Ce que je cherche, c'est amener les gens, c'est captiver les gens, les mettre à l'intérieur, les amener à se balader à l'intérieur. D'où cette densité et d'où ces perspectives.
Hello, I'm Christopher Baker, an artist living and working in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States. I'm presenting a piece called Murmur Steady. Murmur Steady is a collection of thermal receipt printers, much like those one might find at a grocery store checkout counter. These printers are searching Twitter in real time, looking for instances of people attempting to express their human emotions in 140 characters or less. So instead of writing several paragraphs describing their frustration, they might just type something like grrr. Somehow people always find a way to exercise their humanity, even within the often limiting confines of new technology. I find these behavioral and linguistic adaptations to be one of the most fascinating and beautiful aesthetic aspects of our digital world. Thanks for taking time to see the work, and I look forward to your feedback.
Mass Ornament, my installation in the exhibition, fundamentally addresses the conditions and the aesthetics of the digital. It reveals the tension between the individual and the collective in viral and copycat online videos, between the homemade and the mass-produced, and tensions also between the extremely private and the extraordinarily public. And in these seeming displays of personal expression, the YouTube dancers perform the same movements over and over again as if scripted, while millions of viewers sit in front of or stand in front of our screens and watch, also in formation.
My work is My Free Time, and it is an examination of how we use our spare time nowadays. It is a research about our contemporary digital culture and its connections with the power of the updated version of the capitalism 2.0. The work is a collection of videos and a very curious process where I created the fake profile for myself if I was a big company buying free times around the world. And it's the big collection of these videos, and you can check the video in the installation, My Free Time, and you are totally invited to be in contact with this work.
This project began 10 years ago when I was erroneously reported to the FBI as a terrorist. I'm not a terrorist, but I spent 6 months of my life explaining every moment of my existence to the FBI. And ever since then, I've been continuously sending them information about where I am and what I'm doing, not because I have to, but because I choose to. I've shared literally just about every moment of my existence with the FBI. But I also do this publicly, so you can watch this online. As open as I am, I actually live an incredibly anonymous and private life. Essentially what you're getting is the very high noise-to-signal ratio. So while you might be getting a lot of information, I'm telling you everything and I'm telling you nothing simultaneously. What you're really watching are these bars or calibrating a signal. And in this case, you simply can't calibrate a signal because the images just come one after another, after another, after another, to the point where I live in this anonymous noise.
This work I did 2007, so 6 years ago, and I had to do some hands-on, to do some programming, that the code runs smoothly again, yes, and I hope it will run fine. The basic concept is that the disc jockey juggles with music and the visual jockey juggles with music and visuals, and by breaking the news you can juggle with news.